Good morning, everybody. Fortunately for New South Wales, our vaccination rates keep increasing. However, there has been a slight slowdown, so we encourage everybody to come forward and get vaccinated. We have 46.2% double-dosed adults in New South Wales, or 16 and over, which is great, and 78.5% who have received their first dose. And obviously it's when that 46.2% number gets to 70% double dose that we can look forward to those freedoms that we announced recently in our roadmap. To 8 p.m. last night, there were 1,257 cases of community transmission and regrettably 7 deaths, and we extend our deepest and heartfelt condolences to the family and loved ones of all those who died overnight. Can I stress a number of key points today? Firstly, southwestern Sydney and Western Sydney remain our areas of concern in Greater Sydney area. However, we are seeing a stabilisation in some local government areas of concern, and that's positive. We hope that continues. However, we have seen also an increase in cases, as we mentioned yesterday and the day before, in the inner Sydney areas of Glebe and Redfern, and we ask communities in those areas to please come forward and get vaccinated, but also to make sure they're sticking to the COVID restrictions. And again, in regional New South Wales, we have seen a stabilisation in cases. However, in Hunter, the Central Coast and Wollongong, we've seen an increase in cases. And Dr McAnulty will also talk about sewage detection in some communities where there isn't currently any cases. And we ask those communities to come forward and get tested and to make sure they get vaccinated. But I want to leave a really key message today, and that is do not let your guard down. Today there has been some easing of restrictions after we passed that 6 million jab number, but it's way too early for any of us to get complacent. And we are concerned that an unexpected event, a super spreader event, can suddenly have a major setback. And so whilst people start enjoying some things they couldn't enjoy last week, I urge the community, please do not get complacent. Do not let your guard down, because any event that we don't anticipate or expect could see a major setback, and none of us want to see that happen. I also want to make this very important point, that obviously once we get to 70% double dose vaccination, we've outlined the freedoms that exist for vaccinated people. However, don't assume that at 80% double dose vaccination, that unvaccinated people are going to have all those freedoms. I want to make that point very clear. The government is yet to finalise its plans in relation to what happens at 80% double dose. And our key message is come forward and get vaccinated, because once we start opening up at 70% double dose vaccination, the higher the rate of adult coverage of people 16 and over that are vaccinated, the better it is for all of us. Now, currently that figure is at 78.5%. By the time we start opening up, we would like to see that figure at 85% or even closer to 90%. Now, that is our hope, because that gives that extra level of protection, because there is no doubt that once we start reopening, those that are unvaccinated are especially vulnerable. So I'm appealing to all of you, to everybody, to make sure in your circle of friends or family, if you know of anybody that's unvaccinated, please make sure they come forward and get vaccinated.